Good evening. I've written a letter to parents today to update you on where we're up to with the TAG and the QTAG, the teacher assessed grade and the qualification level teacher assessed grade process. So I thought it'd be really useful to just do a very short video update to go with that letter. First of all, I'll reiterate what I've already said in the letter. I'm really proud of the way that Year 11 and Year 13 students have conducted themselves, but more than that, the way in which they've absolutely committed themselves to learning their work and producing assessment evidence in the exams, in their classes, in their coursework, that really does provide us with a fantastic evidence base to justify their teacher assessed grades. That being said, we are working very hard to complete the marking of those assessments, to produce evidence folders that justify the grades which we are awarding. And having started to review some of that evidence, we know that we need to produce evidence that is substantial, that is robust, and that is consistent. And for some students, we've got little bits of evidence that's missing. For some students, we've got evidence that's just inconsistent. And where we want to award higher grades, it really is absolutely imperative that the evidence base we have is, the word I'm using is irrefutable, that when we look across all of the evidence that's in that folder, it justifies the grade, and particularly justifies the grade against the grading criteria that have been provided by JCQ. So I've gone through some folders today and actually looked at the extent to which we are substantially evidencing that grading criteria, and I'm really pleased across a wide range of subjects, the way in which both the students have produced the evidence and the incredible work that staff have done to assess and then to collate and to really ensure that the narrative that goes with that evidence fully justifies the grades. We've still got 2 more days of this term left and a little bit of time just after half term to really secure some high level evidence for some students, either where they've missed things or where their evidence is so inconsistent it's not really appropriate to award a grade. So students who should be in school tomorrow and Friday need to be here, need to be aware that they may be doing assessments in class that still count towards their teacher assessed or their qualification level teacher assessed grade. And as we go into the new half term, so from Monday the 7th of June through to the end of that first week, so the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and the 11th of June, there you go, that's me going through my dates for you. Those dates we will use for assessments for students who have either got missing or inconsistent evidence. So students don't need to be in school every day, but they do need to ensure that if they're invited to come in to do an additional, a supplementary assessment, that they are well prepared and they turn up and they do that. We're not asking students who've already got sufficient evidence to justify their grade to do additional assessments just for the sake of it, but these are students in the main whose performance is at the higher end of the grading criteria, just to be absolutely certain that we are not suggesting a student is a grade A star or A at A level or a grade 9, 8 or 7 at GCSE. And when we actually look and somebody else looks and scrutinises the evidence, that the evidence base isn't quite strong enough. So I appreciate that this has been the most stressful way of doing assessments that has ever been invented. We wouldn't have chosen the system that we're using, but as I say, we want to make sure that the evidence we're producing really does do justice to the hard work students have put in and ensures that they are well placed to progress to their next step in September. A couple of other things I need to tell you about. BTEC students particularly level 3 students, are in the process of signing off from their qualifications. That's an important formal process. So they do need to do that in person in school. So once they've had feedback for everything that has been submitted so far, they need to then come, first of all, to the engineering office to get a copy of their tracker, to check that the grades on their tracker match the grades that their teachers have fed back to them. We can't give them any more information about the overall grade for the qualification, but they can have a copy of their tracker that shows their unit grades. They will also get a letter that is about the process for university entry this year, particularly around unit-based offers that were initially made by UCAS. Students should be receiving revised offers that don't have those unit-based requirements in them, but we're just giving them a little bit of information that supports them in going through that process. And then we need to make sure that we've got proper details of their intended destinations so that we can contact them if we've got anything more that we need from them. So that's an important sign-off process for BTEC Level 3 students. I just have to say that any students who are coming into the building to sign off, to do assessments, to do anything we need them to do in the next couple of weeks do need to wear business dress when they're here as well, because clearly for the rest of the academy we're functioning as normal with normal lessons. It's just year 11 and year 13 that are coming towards the end of their formal assessments and starting some transition activities. Results days are the 10th and the 12th of August. A-level results day will be open really early, so we'll be open from 8 o'clock, so students are well placed to go through the UCAS application and clearing process. For year 11s and for level 2 qualifications that post-16 students are doing will be open on the 12th of August from 10 till 12, so a little bit later that day, as there's not a UCAS clearing process to be prepared for. If you do have any queries or concerns or things you want to ask me about, don't be afraid to either telephone or email me direct. It has been a pleasure working with year 11 and year 13 through this incredibly challenging time. So thank you for all the support you've given them, and we now look forward to a really good set of results in August. Thank you very much.